Good day, friends. My name is Abigail Adams, and I was born in 1744 in Weymouth, Massachusetts. I lived during a time when the world was on the cusp of great change, when the colonies I called home were restless and brimming with dreams of independence. But change was not just stirring in the government halls, but in the hearts of the people, and I did my part quietly but very purposely. Unfortunately, I was not formally schooled like many boys were during this time. But luckily, my family and my mother believed in education. My mom taught me to read and write, and I devoured everything that she taught me. For a girl in my era, this was not normal. Most girls were only taught to sew, cook, and obey. But I believe and still believe that women are not just homemakers, but thinkers, leaders, and teachers. Education, I often said, is not a luxury for few, it is a right for all. In 1764, I married John Adams, a young, lawful lawyer full of fire and principle. We shared not only love, but ideas. John once called me his dearest friend, and I took great pride in being his confidant and advisor. When John became deeply involved in the cause of the great American independence, I supported him, though it meant many years of long separation. First in Philadelphia at the Continental Congress, then in Europe, and later as our second president. While he was gone, I took care of the kids, I managed the farm, and kept the household together. But I did more than just keep house. I wrote. We shared over 1,000 letters to each other, in which I shared not only my love and news from home, but my strong view on politics, women's rights, and slavery. I did not remain silent on the issues of the day, nor did I keep my thoughts to myself. In one of my most well-known letters, I wrote to John and urged him and the lawmakers to remember the women. But unfortunately, it was brushed off by humor because John thought that women were rebellious already. Still, I am proud I spoke up, and I hope my words were echoed through time. I was also a fierce opponent of slavery, which was not a common stance in my day, even among the founding fathers. I saw slavery for what it was, a moral outrage and a contradiction of the very principles that we claim to fight for. I believe true liberty could never coexist with the enslavement of others. Of course, my husband had his critics during his presidency. Some saw him as principled and wise, others saw him as cold and arrogant. And I stood by him through every storm. And we shared the incredible joy of seeing our son, John Quincy Adams, become the second president, or a president as well, making me, along with Barbara Bush, generations later, one of only two women in history to be both a mother and a wife of a president. As I reflect on my life, I do not wish to be remembered only as a first lady or the wife of a founding father. I want to be remembered as a woman who used her voice, who believed in the power of education, who stood up for the rights of women, and who fought on paper and in practice for more than just an equal world. History often forgets the women who stood beyond the spotlight, but I hope I have left behind more than just a footnote. I hope I've left behind a legacy of thought, courage, and determination. Thank you.